What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CanesInSight Daily Podcast, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. It is Wednesday. You know what time it is. We got Mike Ryan in the house. I believe we are in focus, right? And man to thank for that. Pete, hop in.
I'm not the only person to thank for that. Great
Bright
production
eyes.
crew, behind the scenes here at the Cultura Media House here.
So last week's episode got a little away from us, and that was surprising given that we had like 3 consecutive shows where we're talking ball. Entering this show, we got a lot of ball to discuss. We have news to jump on. We've got in-state rivals to crap on. We've got scrimmage observations. We've got fall camp observations. What's the headliner here? Is it the fact that our upcoming opponent on week 1 is named QB1?
We'd start there.
All right, let's start there. Let's start there with one of the more pedestrian quarterback battles going on in the nation. CJ Carr versus, is it Kevin Minchie? Who cares? It's not important. He's a backup right now. CJ Carr, fresh off of 3 interceptions in a scrimmage. They wanted him to win this job. I got great sources telling me he didn't exactly do that. Minchie didn't do enough to take it away from him, but look, we've been there with subpar Miami teams in which they make a business decision when it comes to the depth chart. I think that might be going on here in South Bend. No one really set themselves apart. So they started the kid that they believe to have a higher ceiling, but also the kid that they're more afraid of transferring away if they named him QB2. If this guy comes in, lights the world on fire, he's living into hype that, you know, was there when he was recruited. So far, he hasn't delivered on that hype D in any of these scrimmages right now. People are towing the company line, but it's never great when you're making a political decision as opposed to a performance-based decision.
Yeah, Pete had some great insight here. So the grandfather of this guy is Lloyd Carr, the Michigan coach. Pete, give us a scoop here. So you sent me this text this morning.
So I was listening to the Hurricane Hotline with Joe Z, and they had Mike Bernardino on, who's a Notre Dame beat reporter, and they were going through the CJ Carr files. And, you know, on top of Lloyd Carr being his grandfather, his other grandfather was Tom Curtis, who started Dolphins Digest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Bernardino, that is a familiar name as a former Marlins beat writer. All due respect over to Kenny Minchie, not Kevin Minchie. I can already see the future headlines of the College Football Playoff Committee holding against us that we didn't beat Minchie in this game because CJ Carr's game went so poorly. D, I know we don't want to gas people up. I know there's a state secrecy to some of the stuff that we've seen over at the scrimmage. I'm just going to go ahead and say, without giving much away, the more I watch this team in fall camp, the more excited I get about this team's floor. And I look at that line and I see a quarterback battle against 2 guys that didn't really do much to set themselves apart. And those 2 guys have less quarterback experience than Emory Williams has. I'm feeling pretty good about where the Miami Hurricanes are situated, and I'm a little confused as to why they're not favored.
Well, program kind of respect.
Oh, that's what it is. But by the way, and I'm a sicko about this stuff, overwhelming public support for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at -2. Not 2.5, 2. It went down. 73% of the betting public last we checked is on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This is a real sweet spot for the Miami Hurricanes. They've been here before against this Notre Dame program. We weren't alive the last time the Notre Dame Fighting Irish came to Miami and won a game. I have very little reason to believe that trend will not continue. I like where Miami is at right now. I know Notre Dame earned it last year. They went through a pretty tough path to get to the college football national championship. They performed admirably in the face of injury. They had a different quarterback. The defense was different. I like their wide receivers. I love their running back. I think the running back would be the best player on Miami. You and I may have a disagreement on that. But when healthy, Jeremiah Love is a special back. I was actually rewatching the game against Penn State. They had it on at the gym the other day. And while the total doesn't really jump off the screen, the runs that he had a great leap. Remember when Greathouse actually caught the the Penn State defender slipping literally and caught that big touchdown pass. What set that up was a beautiful hurdle by Love before that. And keep in mind, he sparked the team with a beautiful 2-yard powerful run as one of the best, toughest runs that you'll ever see from a back being hurt. They've got some good players on this team, but the most important position, it is not solidified the way that Miami's is.
No question. And look, the public doesn't know what Carson Beck can do, meaning the last time they saw him, he was holding his arm, right? So as far as knowing, I guess what we know about Beck's ability to perform, maybe we're differently situated than the average fan. On that point, you saw the offense operating here on Sunday without getting into specifics, but just what takeaway did you have from watching the first team offense operate?
I think that Carson Beck, from all the practices and different regimes that I've been to, in terms of consistency, you'll see guys start out slow, especially a guy coming off of injury at that position. It's understandable. Cam Ward started slow last fall camp. Carson Beck, not as prolonged a struggle, but this had more to do with between the years, trusting his body and letting it rip. Once that guy had confidence in letting it rip, he has been consistently throwing NFL passes at these practices with power and impressive accuracy. He'll take chances with his arm because his arm is that good. I think that we're just talking about camps. We're not talking about install and preparing for the opponent, because that's when Cam Ward locked in and maybe put some doubters away, some doubts to bed last year. But in terms of fall camp, I've come away as impressed with Carson Beck at that position as any quarterback I've ever seen. Now, we're not talking like I have the pick of the litter here. This ain't exactly Lincoln Riley murderer's row of quarterbacks that have come through here over the last 8 years that I've been going to practice.
Looking like that now.
It's looking like that now. Cam Ward might have been the start of something, I'm thinking, because I think that Carson Beck, there's this weird
Reese
narrative.
Poffenbarger was a start. And then
How about Reese Poffenbarger's luck? He goes to North Texas, doesn't win the job there. Cam Ward turned out to be pretty good. So maybe this North Texas guy is also really good. I think when Mark Richt was quarterback here, he was backing up Bernie Kosar and Vinny Testaverde. He's like, I could have been the third best quarterback on the planet. You wouldn't have known it. Same could be said for Reese Poffenbarger. But when it comes to Carson Beck, there is this narrative out there. People think that he's overrated because he's not Stetson Bennett. I will tell you from what we've seen in terms of his body, he's ready. The arm is ready. That lower body, Pete, we were talking about this. Being at practice, Carson Beck is put together. He's got an NFL body already. He's starting to mature. You're seeing leadership qualities that was always kind of the book on him. You're seeing leadership qualities there that show a young man maturing into being a leader. I know his offseason was well chronicled. I think we're selling short his ability to rebuild himself after changing schools is a big deal. Going through a public breakup and everybody having an opinion about it is a big deal. Having that injury and hearing publicly that everybody's backing Gunner because he's the guy, that'll mess with somebody's head. And I think he's had to rebuild himself, not just his body, but mentally get himself ready to take it next level. And everything that I've seen from Carson Beck gives me every indication that he's ready for this moment and the perfect successor to take on this mantle, because it's not easy following Cam Ward, just like it wasn't easy following Stetson Bennett.
Pete?
I mean, I think he's a big boy, like you mentioned. We talk about how big the offensive line is and the running game, behind that, and just the body types across the board here. Your quarterback matches that. Cam Ward, he wasn't tiny, right? And obviously he made up for anything else there. He's not a combine testing quarterback in that sense. But man, I think Beck, you don't want him in the open field having to go one-on-one against defenders, but if he needs to lay out and get you an extra yard, then he's got the physical capabilities to do so. Again, we really don't want that regularly, but hey, it's a nice little added weapon to have.
It's going to look different, but it still may look effective. And Cam Ward, God bless him, he might have started something. This is going to be a different approach to quarterbacking, to leadership, to chances that they take, to improvisational nature in the pocket. One thing that I think Carson Beck is often short-sold on is his athleticism. I think in watching some of these throws in the tape, there's a lot of escapability there that is kind of muted when it comes to him, the same way that it was when it came to Cam Ward. a guy that didn't really prefer to run, but he didn't really have the protection that allowed him to do some of the stuff that we saw in a Miami uniform. And one thing that is consistent between the both of them, not just that they're transfers, but they both come in with a chip on their shoulder. Beck's was a literal chip, and Cam Ward's always going to have that attitude, being a 0-star recruit. But I like quarterbacks with an edge to them. It's not going to manifest the same way that it did with Cam Ward, but there is a quiet confidence about Carson Beck that I really like, and an added fuel about proving people wrong that I think really positions Miami well. He has a great opportunity the way that Cam Ward did against a marquee opponent, his first start at Gainesville. Carson Beck has a tremendous opportunity to put his name in that Heisman conversation right away, week one, with this opponent. It's one of the rare occasions where the helmet is almost as iconic as yours.
Jay Campbell says, Mike looks like he'll sell me some sick furniture and rooms to go.
I'm not prepared for the side profile shot just yet. I would have avoided the golf polo. I got a little bit of maybe a Mario Cristobal type build here. It's not necessarily super flattering. I'm going to try to add on here.
I don't know how to pose. I figured it out. You like to send me text all the time.
Yeah, we got a big Labor Day mattress sale going on over here at CanesInSight. Apparently, apologize for that. I should have taken my own look a little bit more seriously. I'll do better next week for Hurricane. More on that in a moment. But there is plenty to be excited about, not just the quarterback position. We mentioned David Lake's article a week ago. They look good at the important places. Don't worry so much about wide receiver. By the way, less worried about wide receiver. I'm more getting on board with Malachi Toney may be him. You know, Ryan Williams is a very high watermark. If Malachi Toney gets in that conversation as a leading receiver, a guy that's a marquee name, he's going to do it differently. He's going to do it operating out of the slot. But that's not to say he's not fully capable of leading this team in receiving and being a really good player from day one. Offensive line is good. Defensive line is good. Secondary has improved. Scrimmages are tough because you're doing damage against your own team. So if one person looks good, you're worried about the other person. But quarterback, I want to say, D, we were having this conversation about the running back room right now. I think Lyle is a special back. I think Lyle has the potential to be in that Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson type class. All right? Let's not gas him up too much. But let's talk about
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right for that day. But I want to talk a little bit about Marty Brown.
Let's talk about him.
Because he's been super impressive in practice in ways that caught me by surprise. This was a guy that was touted to be a goal line back, a short yardage guy to soften guys up for some of the other backs. And we've seen some playmaking ability and some cuts that I wasn't familiar with your game, Marty.
Yeah, the lateral movement, I think, at the scrimmage you're talking about, that caught my attention. This running back room, we talked about it being kind of 1A, 1B, C. I think it might just be 1A, 1B, 1C, and just they're all kind of rolling, with Lyle probably having the most NFL potential as far as like day one, day two.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher, most versatile, just overall football player, and then Marty just pounding people. So it's like this interesting room. Jared Pringle and Chris Willie Humphrey didn't run too bad either. Those guys made some nice plays. So that room in general, I left Sunday and just in general in camp feeling pretty good about those guys. And you saw them full contact.
Yeah. I think that the running back room is really good. And I think that what Mark Fletcher brings is an intensity and a leadership to that room. He may not lead the team in yards. The more I see Jordan Lyle, the more I think Jordan Lyle might be the guy that ends up getting the most touches. He's just a complete back, D. We saw as a freshman, it's not easy to get true playing time as a true freshman. They got to trust him in pass protection. He can pass protect. He can catch the ball. He made a spectacular catch that was not necessarily on the money in the scrimmage. I was really impressed with that ability. And we know when it comes to running, if he finds that corner, he can get a big chunk run on you. I think Jordan Lyle has the potential to be a really special player here in Miami. I'm beaming. I really like my chances. And I read clippings over in Notre Dame, and it's not the same kind of optimism. A whole lot of questions. I mean, we can have muted questions about the kicking game and which wide receivers will step up, but far less questions than I had last year. And last year turned out to be pretty good, D.
No, absolutely. Especially at the cornerback position, which we'll talk about in a second. Josh Gross says running back is a three-headed monster. Cerberus. Anyone know how to pronounce this in this room?
Well,
Probably not. I'm guessing no.
It's wild to go ahead and read a text with a word that you don't understand. Right away. I would have avoided that entirely.
Anyone getting this one? Any Miami Cubans here getting this reference? I hear crickets in here.
Dog, dead fish. There's a word there that none of us understand, but you chose to do it.
Shout out to Josh for culturing the conversation here with Cerberus. But it's interesting. We were talking about, me and Pete had a show. We were trying to figure out who did that that Starry Night painting. We didn't know because obviously we're Floridians. We don't know.
Picasso, baby.
Picasso. He said Picasso. I looked it up. It was Van Gogh. So I was having dinner with Cam Gorbia's lovely girlfriend, Nadia, and she was making fun of that.
We have an update.
Oh, what's the update?
Three-headed dog monster, guards of the underworld.
Thank you, Josh.
I think those were the hounds in the original Ghostbusters.
Well, all these cultural references, again, Gorby and his girlfriend were making fun of us for not being cultured and not knowing what Starry Night is. And I had to pull out my phone and remind them that WWE in Paris
I knew you would do that.
had the Starry Night background to the graphic with Logan Paul and John Cena and those Starry Night. So what I explained was we don't need to better ourselves culturally. We don't need to become cultured.
No.
It's going to come right down to us.
Yeah.
We can stay exactly where we were in 7th grade. It's coming this way.
Yeah.
We don't have to go up.
Yeah, you say Starry Night. I'm like, oh, that's a graphic package behind
Exactly.
Clash in Paris. That's how cultured I am. In fact, me and my friends often talk about the graphics package over at Clash in Paris way more than the highfalutin, highly educated people talk about Picasso.
It's true. You're not even joking. That was a big conversation. Probably like a 3-page conversation in the group chat.
We are pumped for week 1. I'm sure that's what Filete was feeling off of me right now, but I cannot wait for alternate spread to come out. Look, if you were there, if you lived it in 2017, a much worse Miami team, pretty good Notre Dame team, beat the brakes off of them because you had game day, you had an unparalleled atmosphere. You have a standalone primetime game headed into a national holiday that Sunday night. It is all there for this team. And knock on wood, relatively healthy camp. Other teams around this nation haven't been so lucky. I like where this team is at right now. I'm really bullish on the Miami Hurricanes, particularly in week 1.
Pete, comment from a Miami Angels Share Society says, speaking of graphic packages, we should move Pete to the top of the screen. All the chat posts are covering him. I mean, the people want to see the green eyes.
It was a little tighter with the up top.
Yeah,
we were
you
looking
want to have him wanting more. You want that. You want to leave him wanting more. So good job by you. Sergio Sanchez, the biggest news is Mike Ryan was right. Orange out the rock.
I mean, that's common. You can't be wearing green against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Orange out. I wonder if this means orange top to bottom. Last year, Mario Cristobal, as we know, during his time here in Miami, a little bit more conservative with Miami's looks. One year, famously, we didn't have a Miami Knights year.
Yep.
Didn't like to go to the green all that often. Last year, the reason why you saw looks that weren't as consistent with that is he gave a lot of that decision making to a leadership council that was led by Cam Ward. Cam Ward didn't really care much for kit clashes, wearing the green pants at USF. Not good judgment. In fact, slid on my draft board after that decision. We'll see if Carson Beck is going to have the same level of influence or someone else has that level of influence on this team. But it might be a good time to wear all orange if we're doing an orange out. Tickets stay near a sellout. There you go. Filete loves this one.
Trying to figure
a
this
little
thing
bit
out.
lower to block my Jiffy Lube. Hey, your air filter is dirty type of chest that I got
Trying to
going
figure this
on
thing
right
out.
now.
Oh, there you go. You're good. There you're good. Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
we like that double mint gum. I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped for the next coming days. It's not. We're a little spoiled because we started last season with a rival. I love it when Miami has a big time opponent to start the season. Didn't like it when it was FSU.
Yeah,
because I like to build up to that rivalry. But I'm really pumped about this.
we did not have a big time opponent last year, but this year is a good change. More competitive atmosphere, better test for the ACC competition.
How you feeling about? There were guys that really surprised me at the over the course of fall camp. We know how highly you rate Elijah Lofton, but there were guys that really made impact plays over the course of fall camp that surprised with their athleticism, that maybe came in as guys that maybe we pigeonholed as blockers. But you have to keep in mind, you got a really good offensive line. I was having this conversation with someone at the scrimmage. You're not going to be asked to do that as much with an offensive line that's this good. maybe the tight ends that we're bringing in had to be blocking tight ends because their offensive lines were crap. So you have able-bodied, physical, talented athletes at that tight end position, and Carson Beck looks to them. The seams are always going to be there. Those little holes in the zone are always going to be there. Much like Cam Ward, Carson Beck finds them. I expect this to be a consistent thing in Shannon Dawson's offense. Tight ends, slot receivers, poised for big seasons if they're worth their salt.
Alex Bauman, I know you saw him and were impressed with some of the things he was doing. Luka Gilbert, to me, is just a big arrow pointing up guy. You've seen him in person, physically impressive.
Luka Gilbert made a play, a full extension play that had me looking through my roster sheet. Granted, if he walks in front of you, you know exactly who he is. That's a big boy. But a lot to be excited about over here. A lot to not be excited about if you're Notre Dame. Granted, you won several playoff games last year, and I know Miami has to prove it. Miami's always been that team about talk. We were about that action. We were relevant again. We weren't the joke that we've been, but we ultimately didn't do it. We blew a 21-point lead, fell on our face to finish the season. It's all coming together for Miami. I think the depth is here. This is year 4 of Mario Cristobal's vision. You have a good quarterback, a guy that can take you as far as his arm will let you. The weakness here is the lack of, I think, experience in that wide receiver room. I think outside of CJ Daniels, which I think they'll lean on him a lot there. But usually with a lack of experience, you're thinking about immaturity. I think Miami has weeded that out. It may have took 3 years. Jacoby George is gone. I don't really see guys that we're worried about from a between the ears standpoint in terms of maturity. So that is going to be a big positive and a welcome change of direction for the wide receiver room.
No doubt about it. Got a lot of comments here. Nashville Kane asking, do you remember the whiteout for the Gator game under Gold in 2013? Don't think we have done it since. That was a fun game. That was a daytime game. I want to say it was a noon game. It was early. Do you remember that game? Were you there that day?
That was Stephen Morris beating them. Whiteouts are dumb at home if you don't have white as a major color in your scheme because the opposing team is going to wear white.
Right.
So that just shows you the critical thinking that Al Golden has. Bad process, but we beat the brakes off of the Gators.
That was a fun game. That was one of my favorite games. I remember I was like, that was when that Eagles documentary came out. Remember the history of the Eagles?
Do I? That's one of the best. That is the best rock doc.
Unbelievable. So I was listening to a lot of Eagles and Linda Ronstadt like in that morning. And I'm like, man, this is actually not getting me pumped up. I have to kind of change the playlist. This is not the vibe. It's like peaceful, easy feeling. I'm trying to get rowdy. So I switched to UGK, got it done. But that was a fun game, man. That was, we had some nice wins under Golden that we forget about because the seasons were so crappy. It's like we beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
we beat Oklahoma.
I as a Golden Cane for the Centennial, they put out a nice little care package for the Golden Canes, and one of those things was this coffee table book, 100 years, 100 games.
It's on my coffee table right now. Shout out to Carter.
And I was reminded now. Landry Jones started that game for Oklahoma, so on the breaks a little bit. Sam Bradford was kind of good.
Yeah.
But Landry Jones ended up
quarterback.
Yeah, he ended up making it. Look, that was if you look at the rosters, that was a good win.
They had DeMarco Murray. They had Trenton Williams.
Yeah.
They had some real guys.
No, we that was a pretty nice dub. Al Golden did have some wins. But I actually curious to put this on your radar. With the Canes Connection collective that we have around this program now.
Oh, Johnny Lagoon pointed out we beat Oklahoma under Randy, not Golden. That's right.
My bad.
That
yes.
Correct.
All right. So not as good of a win.
I'm just saying in our crappy era, we've had some good wins that we forget just because of bad seasons. But anyways, go ahead.
I'll pose this question to the chat as well. Knowing that we have one of the more organized and with it collectives in the nation in Canes Connection, knowing that you have a new athletic department, you kind of weeded out the mediocrity or the resignation of mediocrity that you had back when Golden was here, and frankly, back when Manny was here. Who would you rather have as your head coach for the Miami Hurricanes today? Pete, I'm curious your thoughts here. Would you rather have Manny Diaz today or Al Golden today?
Al Golden.
I think it would be Al Golden. With the recruiting
even,
resources that we have.
Not even close.
And the general temperament, I think he matches the temperament of the people in that building and around the collective a little bit better than Manny. Manny's a pacifist.
Yeah, Manny was just not a fit here. Golden really was not a fit here either, but Golden at least would recruit players that fit here. Manny's recruiting. And I've been doing this series, going back in all the old recruiting classes, and it made me appreciate that Shannon and Golden brought in more talent than I remember. And Coker, when you destroyed things fast, I didn't realize how fast Rick and Manny destroyed our talent level. I mean, it was like profound. All those teams, like the 2016, then the turnover chain year 2017, those were all golden players, aside from Shaquille Quarterman, really. So, we dropped off very quickly after that.
Plus, you have Al with the benefit of knowing exactly what went wrong here, and hopefully learning from that. Whereas Manny, I still think, has some bitterness. Look, they both have bitterness. Al Golden was embroiled in a lawsuit, but I think that with the benefit of hindsight, more years separation, Al Golden has had to reshape himself. Look, he's in the NFL as a defensive coordinator now. I think that he would be more apt to learn from what went wrong. Whereas I think Manny still thinks that he got a raw deal. And if he were the guy today, Miami would be in the same place, if not better. And I don't think that's accurate, but he's doing well in Duke. And I think culturally that's a good fit for him.
Yeah. And the expectations are lower. He took over a program. We don't think of Duke as a winning program. Duke was already winning when he took over. So it's not like he took over a program that had to get built up. It was already, he just had to kind of keep it at a level, which we'll see. I think the quarterback will help.
He replaced the head coach and went to Texas A&M for a reason.
I'll tell you though, college campuses like Duke, like the University of Miami, I know they're buzzing. Want to introduce a new sponsor, probably my favorite sponsor. I wish I had it right now. The package is in the mail, but Buzzin, which is a THC social tonic, we'll call it.
Yeah, those are social tonics.
7.5 mgs.
I'm pumped
of
about
real
this.
THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice, no artificial sweeteners, bold in flavor, low in calories, which I know is important to you here at in this beach season.
Yeah,
100% hangover
polo.
100% hangover free. It's Miami. You want to have a nice, cool drink. Don't want the hangover. Don't want the extra calories, but you want the buzz. Buzzin's where it's at. It's going to many. It's being, as we speak, being delivered to distributors all across South Florida. That's why we're doing this spot now. But in the meantime, drinkbuzzin.com. That's BUZZN.com. Drinkbuzzin.com. I'm fired up. I can't wait to be drinking this on the show, although my takes are going to go off the rails a little bit earlier than usual.
I mean, your takes do occasionally go off the rails a little bit.
Maybe it'll bring me back.
Maybe it'll get you to trot out some of the takes that you workshop in the group chat.
No, you missed. I think you might have missed the one earlier. No, he had one earlier this week.
Serious? Better than the so-and-so is better than Jeremiah Love one? Because that one was wild.
I didn't hear that one.
I'm not gonna put his business out there.
This is the one I heard.
Wait, what did I say? Who did I say is better than Jeremiah Love or Jeremiah Smith? Oh, Jeremiah Love?
Yeah.
No, I didn't say. You put words in my mouth. I like Jeremiah Love. You put the word in my mouth. I said Lofton was a better runner than Jeremiah Love, which I didn't say that.
Because I said Jeremiah Love would probably be the best player on Miami.
Oh, he wouldn't. I don't think he would.
Who do you have?
In terms of their position, I mean, I think Lofton's best overall as far as like any position he'd be good. In terms of impact, I say Mauanoa, Ruben Bain, baby Carson Beck. What's up, Pete?
You're getting questions here about what a social tonic is. Kellen Wiley Sr. is curious as well. So.
Social tonic will open you up socially because it's got THC in it.
It's a drink that's not like alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. So it's something you drink when you don't want to drink alcohol. You want that buzz. So some of them have like mushrooms in it. Some of them have THC in it. This one right here has got THC. So you're buzzing, but you're not drinking alcohol. You don't hang over, no calories. So that's what it is.
Look at all these pastel colors at the beach, having a great time, all fit bodies because they're not drinking any extra calories. They're just buzzing, man.
Speaking of which, Pete, I got to talk to you about this. You told me about this and it's blown my mind ever since you told me about it because it was so insightful and so precise. I was at campus today with Cam Gorby having lunch.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do what?
I don't know where you're going with this, but don't do it.
I don't. Should not.
No, do not do it.
It's fashion oriented.
No. Yo, I'm gonna be upset with you. I'm gonna be upset with you. Like if you go any further than this, then I will literally walk off right now.
Nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you, Pete. It's nothing to do with you.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with you.
Yo, I promise you. I promise you, D. I promise you. If you go, I will walk off right now because I'm telling you.
Let me caucus with
Yo,
Pete.
I promise you, D. I promise you, D.
I think Pete is thinking of something else.
I promise you.
I think Pete's thinking of something else.
No. I don't know how to mute this thing. No. I'm upset, D. First of all, I don't even know what you're bringing me into right now. Which I say a lot of crazy things, so I don't know what you're about to say.
It's not about you. Come here.
I don't trust it. Here. No. You know what? Go ahead. I will walk off right now if it's what I think it is.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all.
It can't be. You cannot be this fired up over leggings.
It's about the fashion. It's a fashion-oriented statement. What I observed is that when I go to the college campuses now in 2025, after being not on college campuses for about 22 years, everybody wears workout clothes. That's all I see. That's all I see. Lululemon.
I've never seen that. I've never said that in my life.
I didn't say you were talking about something else.
Calm down, big dog.
Oh, Snap says, give my man Pete a Buzzin.
This guy is something else, bro. He's something else. Golly, bro. He loves putting putting everything out there. He's insane. He's a crazy person.
There was a Wall Street Journal story.
Crazy individual.
There was a Wall Street Journal story that said leggings are for boomers. Big baggy workout pants are in. And D invited the discourse. Well, that may not be the case down in South Florida. And
that's it.
Yes,
that's it. We're all good.
May not be the same. Come on. I don't know. Now I'm curious as to what you think he was gonna say.
I think I know what he thinks. He thinks I was gonna say something he told me, which is very insightful,
which again, though, I have no idea.
Which it won't be.
You continue to go on this topic, so let's just move it along. Like
I will move it along.
This is not what I want to do.
Gerald Young said, I just related to Pete so much. I feel if I'm the joke, I get heated.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I don't even want to be brought up in any of this. Let's go.
Let's laugh at the Seminoles.
Canes for Life said, athleisure's the move. I need to iron my pants before class.
Florida State doesn't have
why do I need to iron my pants before
Florida
class?
State, Doak Campbell, all those money for renovations. No sod yet on the field. They play Alabama next week. Alabama, if they've got a bulletin board, Castellanos has been putting a bunch of crap on that bulletin board. Was quoted, I think our defense is going to be the toughest defense I see all year. Here's where that's bad twofold. Number one, it's a lie. It's not going to be. Number two, if Castellanos is struggling against that defense, that speaks volumes. Almost as many volumes as UNLV and Dan Mullen's first year having better CFP odds than Florida State. Florida State presently has the same price attached to their name in terms of futures and appearance that make the college football playoff as UTSA. Not good. Not good. I hope that they go. What do you want Florida State to go? Do you want them to have another bad year? Because I want Norvell to stay. I've always wanted Norvell to stay, even when they caught lightning in a bottle. In which, by the way, Auburn's kind of opened the path for FSU to claim a national title. I don't know if you saw this. Auburn, they were tied with us with national championships, and now they have four more.
I'm sorry. Let's just get to the elephant in the room. I've been telling D that I think Carson Beck is better than Cam Ward, and I think he's gonna have a better season than Cam Ward had.
Not at all. We're talking about athleisure.
You know what? I don't like when my takes get put out there that are really crazy.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, yes, I think he's going to be better than Ward. I think he's going to be the number one pick of the draft, and I think Miami is going to have a better season this year with him at quarterback. I'm a crazy person with crazy takes. Put it on me, man. Put it on me.
Pete.
But you know what? That's what I thought you were going to say.
It was not at all. It wasn't even the universe of what I was going to say.
Wow, you're way brave. Pete, look at me.
Stand up.
Big dog. I feel the same way. You're not alone. Thank you for your bravery. I haven't wanted to say it.
You're talking about you're there with Cam Gorby on campus, talking about this and that. I have no idea where this is going, man.
Thank you for your bravery.
I've been saying a lot of crazy things, man. I just said the other day, I think they're going to beat Notre Dame easily. At Duffy's, man.
It was just about leggings.
It was just
about leggings, dog. But thank you for your bravery. Like, you fessed up to it. That's big. Now, I won't go as far as to say he'll be better than Cam, because Cam set the standard here. I mean, wilder than my wildest dreams. But I think the results are going to be better. I think he's going to be right there in that conversation. Here's a crazy conversation that I was having with Greg Cody, who sat down with Mario Cristobal last week. If the season goes the way that Peter Ruiz just said it will, with Carson Beck having a better season than a Heisman Trophy finalist and number one overall draft pick, and Miami having a better season means Miami is in the college football playoff. That means Carson Beck is a top 10 pick, right?
Would have to be, yep.
Mawanoa, top 10 pick, right?
Yep.
Over or under 2.5 top 10 picks on Miami's roster presently?
Right now, after seeing camp, over.
Who you got, Elijah Lofton?
He's not eligible.
No.
Ruben Bain,
if
Mal
Ruben,
Noah, Carson Beck.
can you imagine?
I can imagine.
I'm gonna take the under just because that just boggles the mind. If that's the case, then Miami's playing in the CFP
Well, I want to
final.
talk about something. But like Pete, you got the crowd going insane.
Yeah,
man.
They're
This place,
they're believing in Coral Gables, baby. They're believing.
the people's champ.
You didn't believe in Cam this way.
I didn't.
Are you learning from Cam?
I'm
And you're like, I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. If my eyes are telling me something, I'm gonna believe him.
I'm seeing things. I'm hearing things. I'm hallucinating things. It's
Amon Richards got your back right here. Pete's got the whole thing going insane, man. This. You got the chat rolling right now.
Thank you for your bravery.
So I would say on the over, all three of those guys were invited to the NFL pre-draft, basically it's like a pre-draft event for next year's eligible guys. They only invite 30, I believe. So those were 3 of the 30 that were invited. So look, it could be over. I'll tell you one thing I wanted to not rant, but just talk about that I saw on the way over here. I saw a mock draft. It was Field Yates. You know Field Yates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great hair.
He had a mock draft. The only can he had was Mal Noah
In the first round?
in the first round. But he had 5 players from Clemson. 5. Cade Klubnik, who I think is not a first round pick in any world. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I think he's a backup all day.
I mean,
in the pros, good college quarterback.
Pretty much consensus that he's ACC Offensive Player of the Year.
He's a great college player. He's got great players around him. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback at that level, but he was there. TJ Parker and Peter Woods, the 2 defensive linemen, who they'll probably go. Avion Terrell, the corner, who I don't think he's even the best corner in the ACC. I don't think he's top 2, but he's there.
Who do you think the best corner in the ACC is?
We got him already on our own team.
Yeah, of course.
We got OJ Frederick and
Frederick.
Xavier Lucas. Maybe Damari Brown. We'll see. Maybe Ethan O'Connor, man. He's been balling. So anyways, so you got Terrell. So that would be 4. Then they also had a 5th. That was who's their 5th guy they had out there?
Receiver?
It wasn't even Antonio Williams. Oh, it was offensive lineman, their right tackle, Blake Miller. So 5 offensive linemen or 5 NFL draft pick first rounders for Clemson. And okay, they have some good players come back this year, but I saw them play 2 SEC teams. I saw them play Georgia and I saw them play South Carolina. Not only did they lose both games, but they didn't even look physically on the same level. Lenore Sellers was completely humiliating them, just like tossing them off like they weren't even there. They looked tiny against them.
Yeah.
And then Georgia, it was a joke. They just ran him out the gym. So I don't understand how a team that looks that bad against good competition. By the way, when they played Miami, they also got big boyed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm just about straight big boy. Forget like games that are, a turnover here, a turnover there. These were just like physical. They didn't look good.
They lost to Emory Williams.
They
lost to Emory Williams.
And in physical, like just man on man getting smoked.
That's Ruben Bain's best game as a collegiate.
And now Noah, 5 first round picks, 26 says they missed like 22 tackles against South Carolina. Yeah. How could they have a team with 5 first round picks? It should look like Ohio State this year. Which, by the way, I don't think they had 5 first round picks. Miami, right? When Miami was rolling, or Alabama, that's a 5 first round pick team. Clemson. So I think we got to slow down on Clemson, pull the brakes on the back a little bit because is getting a little insane.
I think Miami has 3 first rounders. They might. It's not crazy to say that they could go top 10 if Miami has the kind of season that Pete's talking about. I keep using Pete there because I also, as someone that goes to some of these practices, don't want to gas people up too much. I don't want to get people too excited, but it's all there for them, man. It does have the makings, Pete. And the quarterback position, I don't think you're wrong to say it. I think that Carson Beck has had a better fall camp than Cam Ward had. Now, D, you can speak to why that was. There was a theory we chewed on this in the group chat a little bit that Cam Ward was kind of trying stuff out and was a little bit more experimental, whereas Carson Beck just wants to get his body right and start seeing if he can make the throws. And once he got confidence in his body, he's letting it rip. They have a different approach slightly, but is that wild to say that Carson Beck has had a better fall camp than Cam Ward?
So, by the way, shout out to Mo Hassan, Pack the Rock. He's been putting his money where his mouth is with the Rock. When it comes to, look, it's going to be hard to beat Cam Ward for me. Best quarterback I've ever seen in Miami, best player since Sean Taylor. That one's a little tough for me just because of what the magic element.
Just talking about fall camp, though.
So I would say here's the difference. In spring, Beck was not here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was here, but he wasn't practicing.
No, he had his arm in a brace.
Ward was like showing everybody he was the man, putting on a show. So by the time Ward got to like summer, everybody knew he was incredible. He had put remember the spring game, how awesome he was. So I think Beck now is maybe not showing off is the wrong word because he's trying to execute the offense, but he's kind of like showing everybody what he's made of, and he's doing it at the highest levels. And then whilst Ward at this point, kind of to your point, was like, all right, everybody knows I'm the man. I'm a 5-year starter. This is my 6th year of starting. I guess at that point it was his 5th year of starting. I'm just going to ease into through camp, make it through, and then get ready to beat the Gators, which of course he did. He cranked it up right before that game. Shout out to T Hunt 2020. He says, "Let's go, Pete. Appreciate your support, Pete." People in the chat are like not even listening to me and Mike right now. They're just waiting for the next Pete take. Someone asked if you had any more takes. They can't get enough. They already subscribed to the work on Discord. You know, they're already in it with Pete.
Well,
they still can't get
through the wall like the Kool-Aid man and started serving up that Kool-Aid too.
Man, and look, I think a lot of it too, unfortunately, the way we view the QB position, the team success gets viewed a certain way. As much as Cam did last year to keep Miami afloat for as awful as the defense was, like, I just think that with the way the season is going to play out in my eyes, that the hype, and I'm already starting to see some stuff. Did you see who was it that was it McShay? You see the video going around about McShay talking about, hey, let me tell you something. The narrative can be flipped here. This is what McShay's words are. Real quick, if Beck comes out slinging this first month, and then you start to say, man, Georgia is the quarterback killer, and Miami's offense is very quarterback. He's already saying Miami's offense is quarterback friendly. So we obviously Ward got this thing kickstarted in terms of starting this momentum, but in terms of what the impact could be if you actually get to the playoff here and you get another at the very least a Heisman finalist here and top 5 pick, but what I think could be the number 1 pick again, as Coach Dawson himself is saying, then that the lasting impact of that, if you can go back to back, is going to be one that we study.
Yeah, man, I'm fired up thinking about it. I look at the Indianapolis Colts. Why can't Beck be the quarterback for the Colts right now? He's better than whatever they have now. Daniel Jones and another Gator bus, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, the game's still like 2 Saturdays away. Well, Sunday. It's a Sunday night. Like that. Maybe we have to cool it down. Are we getting too high? Are we peaking at the wrong time right now?
We're chilling. Pete, John Lagoon saying that weighted vest did wonders on Pete. A lot of comments on the weighted vest. People asking where your weight is right now.
I had my weight. I haven't weighed myself, man. I'm gonna be. I'll be jigging again out there on the pitch tonight. Mike's gonna be playing as well. I was supposed to have that ACL surgery a couple weeks ago. I canceled it. I pulled myself off the operating bed, and I've been back playing again the last couple of weeks. True story.
Great one, Southern Body. Not today, and now he's on the pitch 2 weeks later, like Hines Ward without an ACL.
Dude, I played the day that I was supposed to have the surgery, and there were people who were not happy to see me out there because the physicality, it remains where
part of your
at
game.
A high level. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm juiced up for our match tonight, Mike. But I'll tell you what, I'm very juiced up about this team. Like
I am too.
I haven't been this optimistic in a while, and this is without me being in the group chat that I know there's a lot of Kool-Aid drinking going on right now.
You want back in?
Dude, no, because I don't see clearly when I'm in there, like for better or for worse. There's a lot. I want my takes to be pure. I want my like I said, I want my vision to be. I have contacts on always, but there's the other level. There's the perception on the sides that I can't see, and when I'm blinders. In there with you guys,
horse blinders.
Yeah, when I'm in there with you guys, the perception gets a little crazy. So I'm excited, man. I'm pure right now, and I'm ready to go.
Ghost and Malt Donaldson asking when's Hurricane. Rocco asking when the hype video is. Both on Thursday, I believe. So I think we're doing Hurricane right here on Thursday. We're planning it as we speak, figuring out what we're gonna do. That should be Thursday. Marathon, be like a telethon. Raise money for Canes Connection. You can give money to kids in Somalia. You can give money to, various different causes. But this is going to be for the cause of Miami Hurricanes winning the 6th national championship. So we got to get that little ticker that goes scrolls. You know what I mean?
Catch up to Auburn now. We can say that'll be next Thursday, and that it'll be between 3 and 8 p.m. It'll be 5 hours long. We already have commitments. This is once again a challenge to the communications team at Miami. Mario Cristobal is going to be on this show. He's going to be the headliner, and I will start promoting it as such. I have laid down the gauntlet. All right, CanesInSight. We are allies of Coach Cristobal. It isn't a hurricane in my mind without the head coach speaking here. So I'm not going to say it like it's done. I'm not going to put it on socials, but Cam and Miami Athletic Department, Mario Cristobal needs to be on Hurricane as our headliner. We have sub-headliners. I don't think they mind being called that, Kevin Clark.
Sub-headliners.
I mean, they're still big font.
Mid-carders.
Not the biggest font.
Upper mid-card.
Look, The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan was on the undercard. It did a main event at WrestleMania. All right? Kevin Clark, Chris Felica. And we're going to preview our opponent a little bit with the co-hosts of the Echoes podcast, Mike Golick Jr. and Jessica Smetana. I have been on their asses. I feel really good. I feel really good about this game. I think we're going to beat the brakes off of Notre Dame. I really do. I think it's going to be 2017 all over again. So help me God.
The vibes are impeccable right now. I can't wait to have a whole six-pack of Buzzin there for Hurricane.
I was way more nervous about the Florida game last year. Way more nervous.
I agree. And I wasn't that nervous about it.
Plank Time asking, where's my CIS Kool-Aid shirt? What do you think? We could do a CIS Kool-Aid shirt. Any ideas? Let me know in the chat. You should be seeing the shirts available under the YouTube video. I think if I set it up correctly, I
saw it earlier.
Our YouTube store. If you want the CIS shirts, the Won't Back Down, Gator Blowout shirts, all the different Gator tier shirts, all that kind of stuff. The hoodies, the champion jackets. We got all that there, right there under the YouTube video. But if you have an idea for a CIS Kool-Aid shirt, Plank Time, let me know, man. We can make that happen. I always appreciate your support. But yeah, man, the vibes are impeccable right now. I'm loving this. People are feeling good. State media is in full effect, but Pete's not really state media. So Pete's saying it, he's not me. Pete's takes are pure. You just heard it yourself. The guy's like a monk.
I'm not state media whatsoever, man. I'm on the outside looking in.
You're an enemy of the state. You were last year.
No, I wouldn't say that I was. I was relatively positive. I think everyone in the middle of the season was at a certain degree against what was going on one side of the football, but I just I've been very pro this regime. I must say I've been a negative person in the past with past coaching situations, but I'm been all aboard on this one.
Wheelbarrow Pete walking up to the Notre Dame game. We got to do that Photoshop, Pete. I know you probably don't get this reference one iota.
I do actually.
You get the Randy Marsh balls?
Yeah, I do.
You got the Randy Marsh wheelbarrow?
Yeah. It's a good one.
Wow.
Let's go.
Look, man, even his pop culture game is sharper.
He's totally on fire.
I'm on Pete.
Mo Hussein, always appreciate your support. Extend Mario. I've been saying this since December 2024. So listen.
Was that early December? Or was that late December?
I mean, the clock is ticking. You only have 6 years left on that deal.
Yeah, Mario's not going anywhere. Yeah, listen, I hope everybody's kind of on the same page with that one once the season's done, because that means we had a good season. Yeah, like that like button. Smash that like button. I'm sorry. Subscribe to the channel. Got over 1,200 on here. Pete, man, you're electrifying the show today. It was needed. This is you're getting ready for the season, so we need that kind of energy getting in. This is not the dog days of June, right? This is the real deal.
All because of leggings. This is incredible. Thank you, Lululemon.
Yeah, man. I never knew a fashion take could be so incendiary. Plank Time. No extension until you actually earn it. Truth is, none of us are paying this money, so I think we're good on all that. Let's see. New King saying fire up your bets. Got the fire emojis there. Is it still 9.5? I think over 9.5.
Yeah.
The Ghost of Navon says, "Did Cam Gorby tell you guys to top?"
Should we have volume on and guess on Hurricane?
Yeah,
trash about the
I'd
DJ.
love to have a constructive dialogue with him. After the Ricky Martin Living La Vida Loca, an incredibly intense game.
We should just do the reveal and let people know that Cam Gorby is DJ Volume.
Okay, I understand. There's a whole world of music from like the 90s and early 2000s that I have no idea about, that Cam knows every single word to every single song.
He was a child of the VH1 generation. That guy had VH1 on a loop. That or he just sleeps inside of a CBS. But the adult contemporary hits, the 80s, 90s, and today, Cam Gorby's got you.
No, those I get. It's the ones that are what's the My Bloody Valentine, like that kind of
shoegaze. He's got some shoegaze. I didn't know that he had that in his locker. But look, the touch tunes over at Las Rosas. It's a Wild West. It's anything goes there. And a certain member of the communications team knows every song. He's ready for whatever challenge. Much like Carson Beck, Pete, ready for whatever comes his way.
He's ready, man.
Lauren saying we need to hype up for the Notre Dame with the Ether beat. Definitely going to hype up Notre Dame. Ether beat, I try to keep you guys guessing there. So been working on the playlist for this one pretty long.
You're going to do all that work just for DJ Volume to play Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas.
He's so 3008, man. You're 2000 and late. Raymond saying that We Back shirt that we sell right there in the store, complete fire, white with orange letters. That's what I'm getting off the bus wearing. Big Ray, man. He's jacked too. That shirt, is gonna be fighting for his life. Man. So Ray, appreciate you supporting the store and the channel and everything else, man. Appreciate you.
Wait till Notre Dame comes to the Rock and are met with Apple the App.
Trick Daddy on the Ox. It would be, but so that song came out in what, like 2001, 2000.
Which Trick Daddy?
Well, I mean, like, let's say
name your Trick Daddy track.
Let's say.
Well, depending on the track.
Let's say. So let me think. Which ones would have been? It like he got big around. I mean, he was around the mid 90s, but he got big on like MTV and stuff, like around like 99, 2000.
99, 2000.
So if you go back, that's 25 years. Mm-hmm. So at that time, that would have been like 1975. That would have been like.
Wow.
We were talking about Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes last week. That was my song of the week.
Yeah.
Like that would have been like that. Trick Daddy for us now is like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes for us in 2000.
Right. When you think about it, like we weren't that far removed from the Beatles.
No, at all. It was what?
We're way further removed from like
31 years.
Yeah.
So 31 years from now is what? Help me with the math. Like 1994?
Yeah. So like the distance between us now and Ace of Base is larger than when we were born in the Beatles.
That's crazy, man. Pete's laughing. Gary's gonna get mad at me. He's gonna think we're writing these things. I like what he did. He lost 3K.
I like to think that's Gary.
I hope it is, man. I'm asking if he lost 3K on the Blue Jays. This is what he said. Gerald Young, so we need another song like Pepis in 2022, rocking the stadium during media timeouts. Yeah, we need something better. I like the Bone Crusher. That's always good. Yeah, 1994, Johnny Lagoon says. He wasn't even born yet.
Well, let's a constructive conversation with DJ Volume and Olive Branch. We've been riding them pretty hard over here.
Great name.
But just want a little bit more Trick Daddy, a little JT money wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah.
I know we sound like boomers too. We should be wearing leggings with these takes.
Some rock, possibly some like rock music.
Oh, it's like a little Rage Against the Machine.
Like GNR.
Can't go wrong with Machine Head. We know that. Machine Head there are certain songs that need to be played every game. You go to rock, you got some Metallica offerings, you got a Bush offering. I'm not telling you to, check out the new Fontaines DC or Turnstile album. That's fine. You got your 90s classics. There's like 4 songs you can get away with at Hard Rock Stadium that it's rock. I get that. But when it comes to hip hop, we'll take the occasional contemporary song break for the student section, get them into it. Gotta play lots of Bad Bunny. But everything else, turn of the century hip hop. This one's not hard. And that'll tie into my song of the week too.
Oh, you ready? You ready to get into that?
Yeah, hold on. I just got a good text. I can't reveal it yet, but it looks like we got our game day plans locked in, ready to roll, man. So we'll be announcing that hopefully maybe in the next couple days before the end of the week's over. So
we should get that DJ to go to this game. That's gonna be fun. Okay, good. So we'll be announcing that soon. So we got to listen, guys. So people ask about the tailgate all the time and what we're doing for pregame. Stay tuned. Me and Pete will be together telling you what's going on. It's going to be a very, very unique deal. We haven't done anything like this before, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm fired up for all 8 home games, right? We're all good for all 8?
Yeah, well, let's get the official confirmation, but it's looking like it. So, yes.
Do you think we've improved or hurt our chances of getting Mario Cristobal on Hurricane with this show?
What's going to frustrate people is that we're going to bring on Mario. He's going to be on. And every single one of my questions is going to be about championship wrestling from Florida and Gordon Soley and the Briscoe brothers and everything else.
That's how we open them up. That's how we open them up to, by the end of the interview, him going like this.
Let's go.
Just have him going like this.
Good question here. What would your walkout song be for the Canes coming out the tunnel? So, I mean, I wouldn't change what they do now on the tunnel part. In the Canes, I mean, like you had the Phil Collins or the Welcome to the Jungle. I guess it depends what part you're talking about. But either one of those, I think. I wouldn't change it.
No.
Yeah.
No. Teams got to have their tradition. Or a historical outlier. Let's lean in a little bit. How about Crockett's theme?
Oh yeah, what's like previous song of the week?
Yeah, Crockett's theme from Miami Vice. If we're gonna do something Miami, that song's a banger.
Oh yeah. What's
Jan Hammer?
What's that guy's deal?
Jan Hammer?
Yeah.
Oh,
is that all he did? Did he do other stuff?
Let me see what else Jan Hammer did.
Jan Hammer, what a name.
Yeah, Kenny Minchie. If I'm Kenny Minchie, I'm beside myself.
A lot of requests for Kodak Black. Kodak Black is a Gator fan, isn't he?
Yeah,
Pete. Kodak Black Gator fan.
He is a Gator fan.
Yeah. He was in their locker room, I think, with Mullen.
Ryan Christopher Bofo asking, you hitting up Katie's Trail Ice House before the SMU game? I think that's part of the reason why I'm drinking Buzzin and not Beluga vodka.
I went in there not too long ago to see if your wanted poster was still hanging up on the wall.
Yeah, well, the problem was I got there early. I was there like at 8 o'clock. I was like watching the news.
Yes, Steve, that was the problem. That was the problem.
It wasn't so much the pace; it was more the endurance aspect of it.
Yeah.
Just the
Do
stacking.
you still have that Hooters shirt, or did you bust through it that day?
I was a little heavier back then. I looked like one of those I look like when you go to Halloween and there's like a group of girls wearing Hooters costumes, and one of the girls is probably too heavy to be wearing it, and she's kind of on the edge of the line. That was me at Katie Trail in my Hooters shirt, but it fits better now.
Yeah, Canes fans, I think are going to want to make that trip out there to Dallas for one of our marquee road games. That's going to be a fun one. That's a Golden Canes trip this year too, so that should be a fun one. Do we want to do can we start with song of the week? Does that put you in a bad spot?
No,
I know we typically do wrestler.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Let's go.
But I'll kick things off here because I want to talk about turn of the century hip hop. I'm going to go with T.I., the King of the South. What you know, I was listening to this song this morning. I have a 40 club playlist as I'm approaching my 40th birthday. I'm thinking about what I want to do for my birthday.
By the way?
It's October 9th.
Ooh.
October 10th, I have plans at the Magic City Casino, Fronton, Cyclones. We expect big things.
Let's go.
But that Saturday, might do Las Rosas. But I want to, whatever I'm doing, I want to be surrounded by music from the turn of the century, hip hop music, because I think that was a peak of hip hop. You can have your doubts about that. We can have a nice little debate. You may like rapping Duke Daha Daha. Does not age nearly as well as Notorious B.I.G. suggested it would. You might go early 90s hip hop. That's fine. For me, the best beats and the best volume. Yeah, I'm just like, you turn on your Power 96 and you would just hear 12 straight songs that will still stand the test of time. Early 2000s had the best production. So there was a bit of a lull after that. Around 2005, hip hop music started dipping a little bit. The people that were releasing albums, look, DMX released 2 albums in 1 year. The volume was crazy. Jay-Z churned out a bunch of stuff. If they didn't have an album to promote, they'd hop on a soundtrack, be the lead single, and then boom, back before you know it, here's another lead single off an album. That was a pretty weird time for hip hop. I would venture to say T.I. was keeping hip hop going during that lull, and he needs to get a better publicist, because T.I. should be talked about in that group with some of those all-time greats, at least like in the same class as like Missy Elliott. If I'm T.I., I don't know why the hell this guy's not sub-headlining major music festivals, because look at that catalog. T.I. had a 4-year run that was pretty tremendous. Banger after banger. Swagger Like Us, a hard rock classic. Put that over there to DJ Volume. Needs to be there. That's a hard rock stadium absolute classic that needs to be played. So I'm gonna go with What You Know by T.I. that was kind of released in the middle of that epic 4-year run that I think T.I. had. One of the more disrespected hip hop artists, because he could do it all. Also pretty talented, pretty good actor as well. Love T.I. Saved Scott Stapp's life too.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
According to Scott Stapp. Why don't you give your details for your song of the week, and I'll pull it up. But I think Scott Stapp went on Highly Questionable and revealed that he was feeling like he was going to harm himself off of a Miami Beach balcony, and T.I., not knowing who Scott Stapp was, saved his life.
But no, a great song. T.I., this era was great. I mean, my favorite guy in this era, he's old now, but Young Jeezy in this era was untouchable. The Recession album, which I think came out the year after this, probably my favorite of the 2000s rap albums. I guess there was a couple in the early 2000s, like 2001. Blueprint came out. Supreme Clientele might have been the 2000s, but Young Jeezy, Recession, unbelievable during this era. But yeah, T.I. is great, man.
Confirmed. Scott Stapp has told multiple outlets that T.I. saved him from what initially was discussed as an attempt on his life. Then he kind of retracted that, but he was in dire straits at the Delano Hotel balcony, and T.I. was basically a guardian angel on his salvation.
Let's go. All right, man. So shout out to T.I.
Also, if you can take one region in hip hop history, you're married to the rappers from that area. You can only take one. A lot of people are going to take New York.
Yeah,
I get that. Some people will take L.A. I think pound for pound, Atlanta's got a conversation going.
They're definitely in the conversation. I would go New York for my personal taste. I like that boom bap style. So to me, that's more where I'd go. I'm not even a fan of New York as a city, but when it comes to the music, 100%.
You get Outkast, you get Luda, you get T.I.
That's a good one.
Young Thug,
Yeah,
Young
you get-
Scooter,
you get-
rest in peace.
You get
Huey
Future, you get some of the newer
Longway.
stuff.
Yeah, Diplomats is another one from New York. Yeah, New York.
Goody Mob. I mean, Atlanta's got. There's a conversation. You get Jermaine Dupri. You get some really good producers.
Yeah, we talk about Wu-Tang, Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, I know.
You know, Nas. I mean, Mobb Deep. A lot of you can go for a while. Although New York right now, I don't think there's anybody coming out of New York, right? Who's out in New York right now? Nobody really, right?
I mean, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, was going to be the one.
Atlanta also has Donald Glover.
Fivio Foreign. He's from New York, right?
I don't know.
I say Atlanta's got a conversation.
No.
Killer Mike.
So, I'm glad we're talking 90s hip hop because I wanted to keep the vibe going with my song of the week, which is You Never Even Called Me by My Name by David Allan Coe, one of the legends of the outlaw country genre. I don't believe, his work has been sampled by any of these artists, but you want to talk about maybe one of the great country songs of all time right here. David Allan Coe spent most of his early life in prison. He's actually from Ohio. Ohio's a sneaky, country kind of place.
Really?
Johnny Paycheck is from Ohio.
Sneaky
David
for
Allan
hip hop
Coe.
too. You get Bone Thugs and
yeah.
Kid Cudi.
That was never a Kid Cudi guy. Just too drowsy for me. I need a little more energy.
You had good parents, I guess.
No, my guy David Allan Coe always brings the energy here. Again, in prison for many years, so kind of cultivated his style. Moved to Nashville, started playing on the side of the road, got picked up. Was known for his rhinestone suits, the original rhinestone cowboy, just decked out suits with rhinestones all over him every single day. Had fake dreads for some reason in the 1970s, and sang a lot about prison. Sang a lot about how. A lot of his songs were about looking like a hippie, but being actually a prison kind of redneck and people confusing him for something else and having to fight people. But unbelievable artist. He claimed to have killed someone in prison that was trying to sexually assault him, but it turns out that was a myth. But he did have various offenses in prison that were not that. So, shout out to David Allan Coe. Again, you want to talk about one of the great artists of that genre. This is the guy right here.
And this has nothing to do with hip hop.
No, well, I mean,
was he ever sampled?
Well, listen, here's the thing. A lot of people think that rapping about prison started with guys in the 80s and 90s, and that was the rapping about that was the first time people talked about it. But country was doing that back in the day too.
No, they were outlaws for a reason.
Look at this one, D from Nathan Jett.
His daughter was my girlfriend in high school. Woof. Nathan, did you ever go to the house? What was the vibe like? You got to expand on this. This is your podcast now. I want to hear more about this.
And Gary Furman is copping up to I'm telling you, the real show's in these comments.
BQ says,
Gary's on
Jack
one
Daniels, if you
today.
please. Classic song. Long-haired redneck, another great song. I want to lay with you.
Gary's saying it was me.
There we go. All right, so I got half the chat on my side. I got half the chat. I lost half the chat here. But yeah, man, Mike, have you ever named David Allan Coe?
Is this the first song that you picked from David Allan Coe? Because I think I recall the anecdote about being a fake hippie.
Maybe it had Johnny Paycheck, who's similar. Johnny Paycheck, also from Ohio, also spent a considerable amount of time in prison. Johnny Paycheck once shot a man in the head.
Just to watch him die?
No, because there was a disagreement about how to properly make turtle soup, but the man lived.
Have you ever had turtle soup?
Nathan Jess said, parents were divorced, never saw him. The mom seemed afraid of him. This was early 2000s.
That all tracks. Turtle soup's not bad.
You had turtle soup?
Yeah, I've had turtle soup from that famous place. They have that food service. They don't advertise with us, so I won't give them a shine. But you can get accoutrement and fare from all these wonderful restaurants that are a part of this service. It's a bold move getting turtle soup shipped in from New Orleans, but it worked.
Is this like the Tinder that celebrities can access that actual normal people can? Is this
No.
Is this service available for the average man?
No,
Is this called?
Raya is that service.
How do you spell it?
Keeper.
Raya, like the keeper.
Yeah.
Were you invited? Did your level of fame reach the point where you got invited?
I'm in a legacy relationship spanning decades.
Well, I'm not saying.
So no.
I'm not saying
been
that
with,
are you
my
on
wife.
it? Of course, you're not on it. I'm just asking if you had reached out.
Could I get on it?
Reach out to you. Yeah. Are you over the threshold?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, I never punted for the University of Miami. I think that's a criteria from what I've heard.
Oh, wait. He's on there too?
He's on there.
Oh, hold on. We got some
He's on there. But I do know someone that was rejected from the service.
Who's that?
Wait.
Let me tell you something. Gary Furman makes a great point here, saying that tomato soup and 3 chefs and chicken next to Tropical Park is amazing. It's really true.
That's where we went after I tried to sign you for CanesInSight. I think with the 3 chefs. It was like right next to your house.
You rolled out the red carpet, let me tell you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been a suit. I was like golden back in those days.
All right.
Brian says, my best friend's dad drove Willie's tour bus and they're still good friends. Heard a lot of wild stories. Yeah, Willie Nelson. Another one. These guys are still alive somehow. Willie Nelson's still alive. David Allen Coe's still alive. I mean, Willie Jennings been dead for a while, but
how old is Willie now? 90.
He's old, man. Yeah, he's in the 90s.
98?
Really? No way.
How old is Willie Nelson?
Sean David saying, how about Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen? You're a big Billy Ocean guy. I know you're all over that. We can put that one. We'll put that one in the holster. Yeah, that's a good one.
He's 92, not 98.
92.
Yeah. Do you think he makes it to 98? Probably not.
He looks good.
The secret to aging. Willie Nelson has looked like that for 40 years.
That's right. 100%. It's like Charlie Watts, the drummer for the Stones.
Yeah, prematurely. Dude, that guy's still touring at 92. That's wild.
It's what's the on the road again? Making music with my friends. That's his lifestyle. All right. So from a genre, outlaw country, to probably a lot of people that listen to this genre, professional wrestlers in the South.
Willie Nelson has 3 concerts on deck, back to back to back: Bangor, Maine, Hartford, and Mansfield. September 5th, 6th, and 7th.
He's drinking Buzzin every day, guaranteed.
No doubt. To Professional Wrestling Week go. I will kick things off here. An underappreciated wrestler because much like T.I., there were bigger stars maybe around him. So he went a little underappreciated. You want to talk about your classic mid-Carter from the mid-90s to the early 2000s. That was Jeff Jarrett. When he was trusted with a world heavyweight title, when it was with a large promotion, the company kind of imploded around him. There were other things going on there, but Jeff Jarrett probably overvalued his value because he left the WWE, remember, just as about when he was about to start a program with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the biggest star at the time because he had that real life Deborah element to it. Jeff Jarrett, one of my favorite tag teams ever was Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett. People are always going to go with teams and your prototypical tag teams, but in terms of being thrown together, this is one of the better ones. Jericho also on that list. Kane and Big Show. Big Show was a part of a couple good tag teams.
Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No. There are a couple of great this is all we have for you. Get thrown together. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart were really good at that. Jeff Jarrett had a great match against a great rivalry with Razor Ramon when he was JEFFJARRETT. Great promo, great look. Did the Ric Flair strut. Yep. One of my fondest memories was the first WrestleMania I ever went to in Orlando. Was strutting down the street with Jeff Jarrett and Cowboy Carl right beside him. I was doing that Ric Flair strut. Jeff Jarrett, married to Kurt Angle's ex-wife right now, Karen Angle, Karen Jarrett. But a talisman for the business. I'm big on having wrestling alternatives. I think the worst era in wrestling history was arguably when WWE monopolized the entire thing and they didn't have a competitor pushing them. TNA tried, and they did. They created a great star in AJ Styles. They had great matches with Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. I know he takes exception to that at the time, but this is the era of Kurt Angle I'm talking about. The X Division. Really revolutionary stuff that Jeff Jarrett tried, and it played within itself. It didn't have illusions of grandeur. Maybe it did, but they grew as they should, responsibly. And now their library has immense value, I think, because of all the legends that walk through that door. Jeff Jarrett is from a royal family in wrestling. Maybe felt himself a little too much, has made some mistakes along the way, but in ring, always solid, always a good promo guy, and funded Taylor Swift's entire operation by being someone that hired her to be a babysitter.
That's right.
Back in the day. So
the girls, his daughters, are in one of her videos.
That's right. In fact, I think that's why he was given a feud with MJF, because the hope in AEW was that might lead to a Taylor Swift appearance, and then that rivalry quickly died when that became not the case. But Jeff Jarrett's still out there with AEW, a lot like Sting. Not meant to be with the top promotion. Just he's meant to be a top card guy elsewhere, and that's perfectly fine. He's done a lot for wrestling alternatives in this country, and we should give him some respect. What's your favorite Jeff Jarrett match of all time? Because he had a really good one with Shawn Michaels, I thought.
Ladarius Benson saying Jeff Jarrett hitting Beetlejuice with the guitar was
Slap
hilarious.
nuts. Slap nuts. The WCW Jeff Jarrett stuff kind of, that's where it kind of fell apart. But initial look change, a shocking reinvention of his character, good IC title run, solid mid-carder, good hand in WWE.
I can't think of any match. Honestly, when I think of Jeff Jarrett, what I remember besides the outfit's not there, the one with the little strings.
Yeah.
That one was insane. Obviously, the song with My Baby Tonight.
Well, it wasn't his song. Remember,
Road Dogg
Milli
Vanilli.
There was a Milli Vanilli angle. Road Dogg Jesse James was actually the voice behind My Baby Tonight, which is a certified banger.
Yeah, beautiful, soulful voice for the Road Dogg. But I would say, when I think about him as a worker, I think that good punches, just good, solid fundamentals.
You're a fan of that, huh? You love a punch.
I mean, forgive me for expecting these professional fake fighters to have good fake punches, which is the most basic move. So he's one of those old school guys, trained right. Everything is, kind of, it's just fundamentally sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what he brings to the table.
Good hand. There isn't a weak aspect to his game. Had size, not, world champion WWE size at the time. But, I think he made a mistake in jumping ship. He was tight with Russo, and Russo promised him the world. Had good matches over at WCW. It was just a mess. The title was changing hands every 2 weeks. But had good matches with Benoit. It was impossible to have a bad match with Benoit at the time. The Slapnuts thing, that is a GIF that'll live on forever and ever. But Jeff Jarrett did a lot of good for this business. I think when he's gone, people will realize the impact, pun intended, that he had on it.
Before I get to my wrestler of the week, I'm going to go with my landscape artisan of the week. And my landscape artisan of the week is the Orchid Man. You already know. Mike, take a look at these landscapes right here. Our guy, the Orchid Man, orchidmanflorida.com. Do you need a landscape on your house? Your house?
I do have I have a landscaper.
It's a lot of work probably dealing and coordinating with all these guys. You got one-stop shop for the whole operation, making sure everything's on point.
So this is the Orchid Man?
He is the Orchid Man, but it's not just orchids. He does all landscaping. I mean, look at the services here as we pull up his website. He does, there you go. Hello, Florida. Boom. You got, if you're a business, if you are a residence, you got sprinkler repair, irrigation system, rain gutters, hurricane prep, landscape lighting, manicured maintenance, tree trimming, tree removal, relocation, tree stump grinding, and fertilizing. They make it easy. It's hard. I see the process you're doing at the house. It's a hard process all around. You want guys who make things easy. Shout out to the landscape artisans at Orchid Man, Florida. If you need any landscaping in your home or business, orchidmanflorida.com.
It's hard to find a good landscaper these days. Miami is a tough town for landscaping. It is so damn hot. You'll have patches of grass that look beautiful and other patches of grass that you can't grow to save your life. Irrigation systems. You don't know how to time it out because 5 minutes the sun will be shining and then 5 minutes later you'll have tropical storm gale force winds. at your doorstep. You need a good landscaper in Miami. So thank you for your support.
I don't know what irrigation is, quite frankly. I read about it in the social studies when all these old societies were irrigating. Like, I couldn't even tell you what irrigation, like how to irrigate, how it is. I wouldn't tell you. I don't know what it is.
I think that's water systems and drainage.
Do you know how to irrigate?
No, I hire someone to do that, which is my landscaper, actually. So one-stop shop.
OrchidManFlorida.com. All right. So my wrestler of the week, we're going to get to some food in a second here. My wrestler of the week, Pete. I was at a bar called Las Rosas, which was an outstanding place on a Saturday night. It was packed. It was bumping. The place was clean. The bands were rocking. Unbelievable experience there in Alapata, Las Rosas. Really could not say more about it.
Pete, we got to get you out there.
Yes.
How about next week?
Next week.
All right, next week. We'll get you
next
out
week.
But one thing I loved about it in particular was the TV had Survivor Series 95 at the bar, including a Survivor Series match with Jerry Lawler and 4 mini Jerry Lawlers, little people, we call them now, versus Doink the Clown and 4 mini Doinks, including Dink. So I had to shout out my wrestler of the week, Doink the Clown, a.k.a. Matt Bourne. True story from Oregon. My dad actually dated his sister, and he wrestled Doink when Doink was a sophomore in high school. He was a senior. So he defeated Doink at that time, but he said that by the time Doink was in his prime, older, it would have been a mismatch. So he caught him early at that time. But yeah, so the Big C, my dad had some battles with Doink the Clown there in Oregon. His dad, I think, owned the territory. So he was an old school wrestler, even though he had this ridiculous gimmick. Kind of a crazy person. From what I understand, had a wild life and is no longer with us, but an unbelievable performer. He's more fundamentally sound than you remember just because of the gimmick. He's an old school wrestler that
could throw a punch too.
He could throw a real punch.
And initially onboarded as a pretty scary villain. People were scared of clowns, and then became a pretty solid comedy act. I had forgotten all about that Jerry Lawler versus Doink Survivor Series match. It was shocking to see. I knew that Doink had Dink, but I didn't know that Jerry found a crew. It's a match. What was it? Dunk, Dank, Dink, Dunk. That was certainly something to see, and the people of Las Rosas certainly responded.
Did they like it?
It wasn't as big a pop for Microman had the biggest pop. I'm surprised Microman isn't your wrestler of the week.
I wasn't there for I came after that.
Dude, Microman, smallest person I've ever seen. He's 3'3".
Louis Perez, by the way, the most valuable chat contributor. We have a lot of great ones, but from a wrestling standpoint, Louis Perez, also good ECW run as Born Again. This guy's got the juice. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, and that's one hell of a LinkedIn headshot Louis Perez has.
Seriously. So does LinkedIn know that you're watching ECW matches from 1998 on VHS? No, but Doink is really like Jeff Jarrett. They're both, the dad was the promoter and they were the one that kind of
go back to Louis Perez real quick. Click him. I want to see this LinkedIn.
Handsome young man. Look at that nice comb over.
Here's what WrestlePalooza 97 taught me about B2B sales.
LinkedIn, man. I never picked up LinkedIn. I should, because I was I am a lawyer, and I was definitely like trying to build business from my law firm. I never understood it. I just couldn't. Like, are you supposed to be yourself? Are you supposed to be half yourself? Like, what percentage of yourself are you supposed to be on LinkedIn?
I'm not a LinkedIn guy. Now, do I even dare to ask Pete if he is a wrestler of the week, or did he already deliver?
No, I was going to say I already gave you.
You already delivered your wrestling promo for the ages. No, that's a social clip, my friend. Are you ready? Are you comfortable with us putting that out there on social? You really laid it out all on the line there, Pete.
I mean, it's out there now.
Gary says, I missed the ECW phase. I was too busy getting laid.
I saw a picture of Dawn Marie the other day.
Oh, is she looking good?
Fine wine.
Really?
Yeah, better now today. You know, it's
really?
like the D Money theory. Pump out a couple of kids.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they could do that. I think of those ECW girls as kind of like Michelle Pfeiffer and Scarface. I'm surprised they still made it through.
Gravity's been kind of Dawn Marie.
That's awesome. I know Francine's still around. I see her going to doing stuff and doing shows.
Yeah.
Beulah McGillicuddy, you got to look her up. She was great. She was my favorite one.
Yeah, I did like Beulah. I don't know what she said. I should call her.
I didn't even see this angle because I was too young when it came out. But apparently Beulah McGillicuddy, the reason she has a ridiculous name is because the angle is that she was like an ugly girl that became hot. And like she knew Raven and Tommy Dreamer back in the day.
Yeah.
And then she came hot and it kind of changed the whole dynamic. So
Gillicuddy.
her ugly girl name was Beulah McGillicuddy.
Well, there's an American author named Beulah No, it's the same one.
Yeah, there you
Beulah. Oh, Tom. Yeah.
She's married to Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, 56.
Shout out to Beulah McGillicuddy. Also, shout out to the #1 Cuban restaurant on the planet. Somebody took umbrage with me saying that in the comments. But
you can talk to me.
The proof is in the natilla. The #1 Cuban restaurant on the planet, Islas Canarias Express, right there in the Dayland Mall dining pavilion. I mean, you talk about high-class living. They got so many options in that place. It's hard to stand out, but that's what Islas does because it is the #1 Cuban place on planet Earth. Cuba can't keep up with it. They don't got the ingredients. They don't got the beans. They don't got the croquetas. They don't have what Islas Canarias has, which is 7 different types of croquetas. If you brought these croquetas to Cuba right now, they would not know what to do with them. It would be like, like a time traveler just blowing minds and people just not being able to, or someone being blind and being able to see and they go crazy. Remember that movie where the guy was blind and they made him see and he went crazy?
Yeah.
He hadn't seen. What's that movie called? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Get the name of it.
That's what people in Cuba would do when they have a kimchi mojo pork croqueta. They'd be like, what is so advanced beyond where Cuba was in 1960 that they can't handle this kind of cuisine. That's what Islas Canarias has done. But there will be traditional items that will be just like pre-revolution Cuba, but just with, maybe a modern flair. The #1 Cuban restaurant on the planet, Islas Canarias.
The Ticket. 2017.
That's what. Okay, I'll say something for like the 90s. They did the same movie twice. Some guy was able to see and went crazy. The Ticket. Huh? No new ideas under the sun. He'll saying, D-Money, let's talk Zaquan Patterson.
Oh, I'm curious your take there.
Didn't he just get kicked out for sleeping during scrimmages? Did something new happen?
That's a bad look.
Yeah, did something new happen there? It's sad, really. I mean,
How do you fall asleep at a scrimmage, pal?
I don't know. I think it's just sad. The guy's got a chance to make a lot of money. He actually has made a lot of money, but has a chance to make a lot more money and have a really good situation for his family. So, it sucks. I do not relish in guys like that not succeeding. I do relish in Gators failing. But I want him to do good at Oklahoma State. I know P, you're a big Pokes fan.
Go Pokes, yeah.
I
Still
think,
trying to get offer me the gig, but
I think that oftentimes, look, when someone leaves a program, Brashard Smith succeeded last year. Those are going to sting somewhat. Hell, a lot of the SMU guys ended up performing pretty admirably for the Mustangs.
He doesn't think that Brashard Smith was a big loss. I don't think I want to get into that discussion.
He's the #1 offense in the country by a mile.
I think Brashard Smith is going to light it up as a Kansas City Chief. I really do. But I think that if you really tried to itemize the people that filtered through this program, Mario Cristobal and his staff got it right more often than not in terms of mentality. And he's built that culture. Last year, there were a couple of guys who were worried about what's going on between the years. I got to say, it makes sense because it's year 4. In terms of that, the maturity aspect, this is the most mature Miami team I've seen in a very long time. Not just physically mature, but mentally mature.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Markel Bell, Ines Cooper, Mao and Noah, Mark Fletcher. I mean, these guys are rock solid dudes. Wesley Basaint, Mo Torre. I mean, go up and down the line. There's really not a lot.
Even the young guys seem to have it together.
Oh, yeah. And now Beck, I really like how Beck is interacting. Just watching her practice this morning, just seeing him with Emery. He's cracking jokes with Emery, like having a good time. Every time you see him, he's got a smile on his face. I think
he's got you could see why the teammates like Emery.
Oh yeah, he looks slim. He looks ready to rock. Again, that 8 and slimming. But I saw a picture of him riding the scooter. He's definitely slimmed down. He's lost some weight. And I think you see it in his play. He's playing great. Much improved. But yeah, Beck, I think I don't see everything that happens behind the scenes, but he just seems happy. Seems like the weight of the world's off his shoulders. Very similar to me to Mark Richt when Mark Richt came to Miami, except Mark Richt obviously was at the end of his road due to health stuff and other things, whereas Beck right there in the middle of his prime.
All right, we'll see you next week for Hurricane.
No, because you're going to see. Because first I got to see them on Friday, and I've seen them on Friday because Mario Cristobal is going to have a meet and greet at the team store Friday, August 22nd, 2 days. It's Wednesday. If you're listening to this, Friday, the 22nd, 4 to 5 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m., 1 hour, small window, big opportunity. Mario Cristobal at the Miami Hurricane team store, right there next to the University of Miami on US 1. Show up, bring your family. It is a rare opportunity to get this guy out of the building, to get this guy doing something like this. So take advantage now. It may not happen again. Mario Cristobal, 4 to 5 p.m., Miami Hurricane team store. While you're there shopping, promo code INSIGHT20 gets you 20% off your first item, but do not miss that event. Maybe we could talk to him about Hurricane.
Yeah,
we
if you see him out there, just say, "Can't wait for you on Hurricane," and he's going to be like, "Cam, what the hell are you talking about? What is Hurricane?" They're just going to talk to you about NWA Southern Alliance.
Oh, he's gonna love it. I'm telling you, I've seen him rattle off the name of about 20 Championship Wrestling of Florida competitors, like deep cut names. So we'll see if we can get him going here.
Well, Pete will get the first question in. That's my guarantee. Further incentivizing Mario Cristobal to appear on Hurricane. Pete, you get the first Mario Cristobal question.
Are we sure that incentivizes him?
Probably not. D, you get the
Explorers.
first question. Pete, you get the second question.
Stay tuned. We got shows all week, as always. Plus, we got Hurricane next week, Hype Podcast next week, special announcement regarding game day festivities and programming next week. It's game day, game week. We're going to be pumping out stuff nonstop. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. Go Canes.
Go Canes.